What's happening, everybody? Chris with Invictus Defense Academy and the Invictus Fighting System here, and I want to talk to you guys today about being a jack of all trades or a master of one. What do you think? Alright guys, so this weekend I was on Randy King Live and we were doing a podcast called The Debate. Now in this podcast I presented an argument and Randy by default, sorry guy, he had to take the opposite point of view and we had to actually debate it. Now the point being is a lot of times when we do that, when we have these philosophical or ideological disagreements, it usually turns into an ego, no I'm better, no I'm better, no I'm better. It turns into a shouting over and nobody actually fucking learns anything. So I commend Randy for having this forum where people can actually open the debate stage again and actually have a healthy debate where nobody walks away all pissy and butthurt and everybody can walk away learning something. That being said, jack of all trades versus master of one. He had to take the argument of being a master of one. I took the argument of being a jack of all trades. And now I am going to present a couple other arguments that I didn't make during the debate and I kicked my own ass afterwards for not bringing them up. Now, his argument, master of one system. You get so good at one system, you have all the answers to all the potential problems that you could be faced in life. Now, I have anecdotal evidence to prove the contrary, but we'll get to that. So his point of view is pick a system. Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, Krav Maga, I don't give a shit. Just get so good at that, you will have the ability to fight off anybody, especially since, if we're talking about in the self-defense realm, that we're dealing with people who are typically boneheads and they don't actually know how to fight. They're just using physical intimidation to try to get what they want. The social commentary, we can talk about the spectrum of that in a different video, and we will, but that's where he's going with it. And I said, being a jack of all trades is better. Now, the point that I wanted to make, and I bonehead moment, didn't remember it, is that if you think about being a generalist, someone who is a jack of all trades, someone who trains a little bit of jiu-jitsu, a little bit of Muay Thai, a little bit of Krav Maga, and they also do some tactical skills, they have tools for all sorts of different problems, right? And different projects. Whereas when you are a master of one, you have one toolbox, and that one toolbox is specifically geared towards one problem. So I'll use jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is a very intricate system, and it's a very if this, then this, and here's how to counter these, here's blah, blah, blah. So the way I look at it is jiu-jitsu is the toolbox for fixing a very fancy, high dollar car, like a Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, NASCAR, Formula One, right? It has all the tools to fix those cars. So there's socket wrenches, there's monkey wrenches, there's vice clamps, there's hoses, there's shit like that only fix those cars. Now, Muay Thai, I say, is the toolbox to build a house, to put the framework up, to put the drywall on, to put the roofing on. I say that it is the toolbox that can build a fence, they can build a retaining wall. It is hammer, nails, screwdrivers, drills, stuff like that. Then when we go over to Krav Maga and the tactical skill, or Krav Maga, we'll say, is all of the stuff for electricity, right? Low voltage electric work. Putting in lights, security systems, security cameras, all those things, right? They require a completely different set of tools than what you would need for a high speed, low drag car. And they are also the tools that are outside of the purview of building a house. You don't just get smash, right? Then we add tactical skills to it. Tactical skills, the competent use of being a good concealed carrier and tactical use of a firearm. That being said, that is all the stuff for plumbing, right? And plumbing has different tools than for the car and for the house and for the electrical work, right? So if we compartmentalize all of them, right, each style handles its own problem. However, the world doesn't work that way. The world doesn't say, well, here's the car, now fix it. The world goes, hey, here's the car, it just drove into the house, broke the gas line, knocked the toilet off, there's water shooting up to the fucking ceiling, and by the way, the security system caught it all, but it's down now, so you need to retrieve it off the DVR, right? That's how the real world works. And so now you're going to need tools for all those things to fix all those problems, right? So when you have tools for multiple problems, you have more opportunities to best defend yourself. When you have more tools in your tool chest, then you are more diverse, and you have the ability to be more diverse, and you have the ability to handle more than the expert and the master of one. He's stuck doing car stuff. Now, can he take that wrench and can he hammer a nail? Yeah. Is it going to work? Yeah. Is it going to be as effective? No. Can he take those same sockets and stuff like that and try to put together a fence or a retaining wall? Good. Is it going to be as effective or as efficient? No, probably not. Can the tactical skills, can the gun gomers, can those guys, can they take their plumbing stuff and fix the car? Parts of it. Can they take all of that and build a fence? Maybe, right? So just because you have a hammer doesn't mean everything is a nail. Just because you have a socket wrench doesn't mean everything is a bolt. Just because you have, little screwdrivers and voltmeters doesn't mean it applies to everything. There's always overlap, and you can do some work amongst all the other projects with those other tools. But the point is that the world has a lot of different problems, and you need to have tools to handle all of those problems. And if you relegate yourself only to one set of tools, you are doing yourself a disservice. I think that you're doing yourself a disservice because you are limiting yourself. My anecdotal evidence is that as a Krav Maga expert, I went to a jiu-jitsu gym and I'm an expert, right? I should be doing just fine, right? I have hook, line, and sinker. I bought into the Krav Maga system all the way. A 2-stripe white belt at another gym held my ass down, and there's not a fucking thing I could do to get up. What did that make me go? I go, well, I don't have the tools to solve this problem. So what did I do? I invested in gaining those tools. I started learning jiu-jitsu. I learned how to grapple. I learned some catch wrestling. And so now I have some tools to get that job done. Do I have all the tools? Do I look like a Home Depot or an AutoZone? No, I don't. But at the same time, I have enough tools that I can get the problem solved the best way I possibly can. Now, that also being said, there are 3 high-level jiu-jitsu people that I have rolled with, and I've explained Krav Maga, and I've showed them what it is, stuff like that, and showing them there's a hole within their system, and to show them that what jiu-jitsu is selling as self-defense is not. There's 2 black belts and a brown belt. And there is a video out. I have the video. I'm not going to release it because I don't feel like embarrassing these people, and I don't really ever want it be taken as I'm embarrassing them. They're too good of people for me to do that. But the point being is, I am a white belt in jiu-jitsu. Why is me, the white belt, on top of a black belt stabbing the shit out of them? There is no reason for that to ever happen. Why? Because I took a problem that they are not used to. I took a problem that another toolbox would typically handle, and I threw it at this one. And so now they had to take a socket wrench and they had to try and hammer a nail, and it wasn't working that well, right? Or they had to take a socket and they had to put in a screw, right? It didn't work that well. Did they find a way to handle it? Yes, they found a way to handle it. And the upside is, the beauty of it is it's a training environment where nobody's actually going to get hurt, and nobody's trying to hurt one another. But the point being is that when you are a master of one, you are limiting yourself, and you are putting yourself in a box. And if you think for 1 second that, oh, well, I'll just figure it out on that time, that's bullshit. You fucking know it, because there's studies out there by great minds like S.L.A. Marshall, Dave Grossman, Bill Lewinsky, Lauren Christensen, and Rory Miller. There's so many great minds out there that say, nope, that's not the case. There are actual scientific studies saying that you will not rise to your expectations. You will only default to the level of your training. So if you have not exposed yourself to it, you will not do it. Tony Blauer has a really good saying that, if you don't think to do it in training, what makes you think you're going to think to do it when the time is actually needed? Well, guess what? being a jack of all trades at least exposes you to all those potential problems and at least lays down a good roadmap and shows you how to use some very basic tools from each one of the toolbox to solve all the different problems that are out there. Are you going to be a master mechanic? Are you going to be a master carpenter? Are you going to be no, you're not. But at the same time, yeah, you have the potential of doing it no matter, as long as you continue doing it and put forth that effort. But point being is that you'll at least have the tools to solve all the different problems out in front of you. You can't always make one toolbox fit all the problems. So this is an argument I make in class. I want to hear your point of view. Leave a comment down in the comment section, and I will see you soon. Take care.